Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo. It's a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people. And with me today is the girls varsity basketball team, Conneaut High School, with their head coach, Tony Passon. And Tony, how are you?
Good, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in. And the three of the players here, why don't we introduce ourselves?
I'm Brianna Oatman.
Taya Higley.
Lexi Campo.
And they are all seniors on the Conneaut varsity basketball team, so that gives you some experience coming into this season. Tony, first of all, why don't you start by running down your coaching staff and start with the middle school level?
At the middle school this year, we're fortunate to have Coach Rattari came back to the area, so he's coaching.
Tom?
Yeah, Tom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Tom's working with our 8th grade. He actually came up to the high school and was working with us on some things. So
He's in his 50th year now, isn't he?
You said that, not me.
Okay. Great guy.
Yeah, he is, and he's been a great addition. And then we have Lydia Casido, who graduated a few years ago. She's now with our 7th grade. So
Oh, really?
very fortunate to have those two down at the middle school because they both, obviously Tom's got a ton of experience and Lydia is young and ambitious and wants to coach. So it's a great combination for the girls.
Outstanding. And then, of course, your JV coach is Timmy Kennedy.
Yep, still got Tim.
I think I told you during the season last year, outstanding. I think he's an outstanding coach.
Yeah, Tim does a great job. He's a very good motivator. He does a good job dealing with JV because that's not always easy. Because a lot of times you have, you're working with girls that got limited quarters, and so he doesn't really necessarily know who he's going to have for what quarters, and he just does a great job of getting them to play hard and play together, and they've been very successful.
He sure does. He gets a little excited with the officiating every once in a while, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You've already had some scrimmages. I think you had 4 scrimmages. I think you had Geneva, Harvey, Madison, and St. John. Is that correct?
We had 3. St. John, they backed out on us. They were afraid of these girls. So.
Okay. How did the scrimmages go?
Went well. I mean, we want to get scrimmages in the beginning of the year that are going to test us and expose our weaknesses, and we definitely did better in some cases than I thought we would. But like I said, it also showed us what we need to work on, and the girls, they got ready for Lakeside on Friday night, and it showed.
Mm-hmm. I see you did open the season over the holiday weekend against Lakeside. Let's bring in Brianna for a minute. Brianna, tell us about what it was like in your senior year going into the first game of a brand new season.
Going into the first game, obviously it will be nerve-wracking with everything, but our senior year, I couldn't ask for a better start to it. We ended with a win, and that's all you can ask for. So.
And it was a double-digit win, am I correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What were you most impressed by for your own game that day? Anything impress you?
We worked as a team, which is
the ultimate goal, right? I know. I do that too as a host, as the ultimate goal. Right. And Taya, what about you? What did you think going into that game? Were you nervous? Being a senior, I don't know if you would be nervous. Maybe you would.
Oh no, yeah.
Opening game
definitely.
jitters.
We all are from senior up to freshman. We're all nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And how would you judge your performance for game 1?
It was okay. I guess. Like she said, we worked as a team. Everybody, we all scored equally, so we worked together.
And this was at Garcia Gymnasium. Mm-hmm. I forgot all about that, to tell you the truth, Tony. Busy with the holidays.
Yes.
Lexi?
I was nervous going into it. I don't know. It was good. It was a good game.
Now we got
Against
another home
Lakeside.
game Wednesday against Grand Valley,
Yeah.
and that's 6 o'clock start.
Yep.
Tony, talk a little bit about the game. We heard a little bit from the girls, but I know you got much more to add to the Conneaut Lakeside Dragon game.
Yeah, I told them is one of the best compliments you can get from people is to say how well your team played together, and they all talked about that. But definitely the way we move the ball, they're not giving each other enough credit. We're very fortunate to have these 3 as our seniors, and also Tatum. All 4 of them definitely helped the team in many different ways. But the leadership and I think bringing a team together. None of these girls are selfish. And like they all said, they played very well as a team, and you can see that just the way we moved the ball around. We finished with 22 assists, which you know,
that's outstanding.
That's a large amount for a girls' basketball game. So,
Especially game one.
yeah, and that's, I mean, we came out right from, and traditionally we seem to start a little bit slow for whatever reason, but we came out and we jumped on 16-0, and you know, and I credit that, like I said, a lot of it to these, you know, these three along with Tatum, and then but really the rest of the team, they're playing very well together right now.
I started to see the improvement during the season last year, towards the middle to the end, where I think you won something like 7 out of 10 or 8 out of your last 11 games. So you got off to that rough start, but as the season went on, you could see the constant improvement.
Yeah, and I think the key to us is balance. Taya kind of alluded to it, that, you know, we had 3 girls in double digits, and it could be three other girls next game. You know, and besides that, we also had multiple players score. We've got a strong inside game, but we also have guards that, you know, can shoot and attack the basket too. So I think our balance is what is going to make it hard for teams to defend us. But, you know, like I said, it could be 3 different girls every game.
Mm-hmm. We've introduced these 3 girls, and you've talked about Tatum. What about the rest of your roster? Can you fill that out for us?
We got 3 junior post players that will play a lot. Peyton Walker, Tully Taylor, and Emily Martin. You know, those 3.
All with some height.
Yeah, they're strong, they're physical, and that gives us, you know, a dimension that a lot of girls teams don't have with size and strength inside. Kylie Burkhart's also a junior. She'll get some varsity minutes throughout the season. And then sophomores, Hannah Clark, she'll be playing a lot of point for us. She's really maturing and doing a nice job of running the offense, seeing the floor.
So she's got Jessica Thompson's role.
Yeah, pretty much. Her, and then also Lydia Mazzocco, who's a freshman. She also plays point guard, and she also plays off guard as well. So, but then we also have 2 other sophomores, and KJ Haas and Sam Mempa, who, you know, are capable of getting varsity minutes as well. So it's the hard part for me and for the other coaches to figure out, you know, our rotation. We've got 12 girls that are capable of, you know, producing at the varsity level, but unfortunately there's only so many minutes in a game. So.
Mm-hmm. Now remember, this girl's a coach is never pleased. But Tony, what has pleased you so far from what you have seen?
Number one, the attitudes and the effort. You know, as long as if they're working hard and, you know, their attitudes are great, you know, the results, yeah, we want to win, but, you know, that's secondary to me. And to see them, the way they work together, the way, you know, just the effort they give, you know, and we don't have any bad attitudes. They all, you know. I'm having a brain moment.
No, we all do that.
Moment.
We all do. Now I'm going to get ready to do it too, because I forgot what I was going to ask next. So let's go to Lexi. Lexi, coming into the season, what was one of your goals? Personal goals?
To become a better player. To make layups.
I know you had one monster game last year that I can recall. I mean, it was a big scoring night for you. I don't remember who it was against.
St. John, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel you can go about accomplishing that goal?
I don't know. Just getting help from my teammates.
Mm-hmm. Lexi's strength is definitely in transition and out in the open floor. And the other night, Lakeside, she finished with 12. She probably could have easily had another 6, but we won't go into that. But she, that's her strength, is definitely being out in the open floor.
Mm-hmm. Taya, walk me through a typical Tony Passanen basketball practice. Before the season, not during the season.
Before the season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we walk in, get in line for bust out drill that we all hate.
What's a bust out drill?
I don't know how to explain it. It was like a line. Yeah.
There's a line at the foul line and then a line out of bounds, kind of. And the foul line throws their ball up and get the rebound, and the out of bounds person is the outlet, and they go in transition, kind of, and we do it both sides.
So is this a new drill or something you've been used to?
Oh no, it's like every day.
It's designed to get the blood flowing.
What other drills does he have you go through? Do you have to run around the gym at all?
No, not really. I mean, occasionally.
Not even in discipline cases?
I mean, when we do stupid stuff. Then like it's a couple suicides. But I
7-1.
yeah, 7-1 here and there.
Well, Tony, we talked about what you were pleased with so far. What needs work?
We still handling the press. Pressure is the biggest thing for us. The first half, I was very happy. We only had 5 turnovers against Lakeside. Second half, they picked up the pressure a little bit more, and we ended up with 17 in the second half. So that's going to be the big thing with us. They know that. They're hearing it every day in practice. That as long as we can handle pressure in the press, then we're going to be very difficult to beat, because I think we're a very good defensive team, and I like the way we're playing in the half court. So as long as we are taking care of the ball, then they can beat just about anybody on our schedule.
At the start of a season, what seems to be ahead of the other one? Is it the defense or the offense? I asked Tim that question this morning too.
I would say the defense, not as much as it's been in previous years. Normally it would be, overwhelming, but defensively, I think so. Just and a lot of it stems from players like these three. Just they're very aggressive, and instinctive on defensive end more so than the offense. The offense just takes more work, but I think it's definitely off to a much better start offensively. But I think a lot of that comes with the balance we're talking about, and really, and like I mentioned, these girls, last year facing a man pressure first game, it would have been a complete disaster. But the turnovers we had, it wasn't due to poor decision making. It was just fundamental things, getting too nervous, too anxious, trying to do things too fast.
So do you feel like you got a 50-50 balance when it comes to offense and defense?
We'll go 55-45.
55-45
Defense.
Favoring the defense.
Yeah.
So are you looking more at low-scoring games, high-scoring games for girls basketball?
We started off with 55 in the first game, and honestly, we could have easily, been around 70. We left a lot of points out there, but with the teams we play, it's going to be, especially now we're playing in PA, that I think lower scoring games are going to be more to our benefit, just because we're more of a bigger, more physical team. If we get involved in track meets up and down the court, that's going to play against us.
I want to talk about that schedule a little bit more with you, but let's bring in Taya for a minute. Taya, do you ever feel pressure during a game, like say in a tight game, and you're going to be going to the free throw line, and the gym usually is supposed to get quiet while you're shooting a free throw, at least at home games? Do you feel that pressure? Do you block the crowd out, or is the crowd there?
Well, thankfully, I haven't been in that situation yet. But I'd imagine I'd probably feel a little bit of pressure. But it's
How about you, Brittany?
Um,
Or Brianna? I did that when I had her in CCD too. How many times did I call you Brittany? Brianna. I got it right here, Brianna, and I'm still saying Brittany.
I'm sure anyone would feel pressured in that situation, especially when the game comes down to just a couple points. So.
And Lexi, what about you?
Yeah, I'd feel the same. I'd feel nervous because that shot means a lot.
When you're in a pressure-packed game and you did something that was wrong on the basketball court, and the coach is calling a timeout, and you're getting ready to go into that huddle, what are you thinking? Anybody?
He's gonna yell at him.
Tony don't yell that much. Maybe the JV coach might yell.
That's right. It's all Tim.
You leave it to Timmy, right?
That's right.
What about you? Anything on that one?
Or he's gonna take you out. So.
It is, but it's a learning tool, learning thing. Let's look at a little bit of the schedule. County teams, see, you got Lakeside, which you've already played. You got Grand Valley, St. John, Edgewood, and PV. It's still good, even though you're in the conference, it's still good to have some of that local flavor on your schedule.
Yeah, definitely. And we wish we could, play more teams in the county. We don't play Jefferson or Geneva anymore, but that's just how it goes. It's nice being now in the Pennsylvania Conference. At least, really, the biggest thing is the consistency of the schedule. For the most part, the past 5, 6, 7 years, we've played every night except Sunday at some point throughout the year. So
that's what Tim and I were talking about this morning too. Now you're back to your more customary, 2 games a week?
Yeah, we'll play league games, our Monday and Thursdays for us with the Pennsylvania teams. But we'll still play other non-conference games on other nights. But there's definitely much more structure, which I think helps the girls too, because then you can kind of get into just a rhythm as far as the season goes, as far as preparation goes, being able to schedule them off days, those type of things. It's hard when you're at the mercy of everybody else, and you're playing Monday, and then you're playing Wednesday, and then you're playing Saturday, and you could come back again and play back-to-back days. So I think the consistency is definitely going to help them play better too.
Mm-hmm. When you look at some of the county teams, how do you who's good in the county, and where do you rank your team as far as the county goes?
I think Grand Valley is going to be, they're going to be a good team again this year. Same with PV. They both have, very good programs. I don't really, we scrimmage Geneva and Jefferson, but I mean, they're both solid. St. John, they're definitely, starting to see them starting to get better and better too. So, I don't know, I have a lot of confidence in these girls. I like our chances against any of them. So I would definitely put us, right up there towards the top.
That PV has turned into like a rivalry. I think last year was the first time you beat them in about 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a few.
And you kept their main star down too. I can't think of her name right now.
Cat Hall.
Yeah, you kept her down pretty good.
Yeah, and that's it's going to be another battle again this year. He played a lot. He played quite a few freshmen and sophomore last year, so they're.
That's still Compan over there coaching.
Yeah. So they're going to be more. More experience, so I mean that'll definitely be a good game for us.
Has there been any coaching changes as far as the county goes, or are they all pretty much back?
I think this year it's all Lakeside. Bill Isco took over for Coach Osborne.
Sounds like a Harbor Mariners name.
It is. It is. So he's a good guy.
Yeah. Let's look at the District 10 schedule now. I see Villa Maria on here, and I know a lot about Villa Maria. And you got them twice, of course, because it is a conference game. Outside of Villa Maria, what is that District 10 conference looking like? I know Fairview and Girard in the past have always been pretty good.
Girard's not with us. They're not with.
Oh, they're not?
No, I think they're with the boys.
They're not on your schedule. Okay, they are with the boys. So the conference works different.
Yeah, it's strange in that regard. Same with, you just look at all the fall sports. It's not the same teams in every sport.
Mm-hmm.
With us, Villa Maria is, last year I think at some point they were 9th in the country. So that's going to be interesting.
And you got them this month too.
Yeah. Good news is we got a week off before them, so we'll be ready for them. But Mercyhurst Prep, we also play twice. They're not too far behind Villa Maria, and then Northeast is a very good team. But I mean, other than that, you've got Fairview. We play Seneca and Northwestern. So I mean, those all should be. We definitely are capable of winning any of those games.
We see Iroquois on the schedule again, but is that a non-conference game?
Yeah, that's non-conference.
And you've had a pretty good relationship playing them the last several years.
Yeah, and we wanted to keep that going. Same with Strong Vincent and Erie. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with them. But with the Iroquois, the last couple of years, we played them twice. In a season, which really has helped us outfill our schedule.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a holiday tournament at Garcia Gymnasium during Christmas week, 27th and 28th.
Yep, we open up with, there'll be a Edgewood Grand Valley JV will play at 4:30, and then Grand Valley and Edgewood's varsity will play at 6, and then our varsity plays St. John's varsity after that.
Are these games exhibition games, or are they regular season games?
No, they count as regular season games, so they're 2 of our 22 games.
Mm-hmm. And that's been going on for how many years that we've had a holiday tournament?
I think this will be the 5th or 6th. We used to play in Linesville. Linesville used to have a tournament, but then when they all consolidated, we decided to start our own, and it's been nice. We've stayed pretty consistent as far as the teams go, and it's just good for us just to continue to play against county teams.
Have you been able to get any scouting reports on these Pennsylvania schools?
Well, in the summer we played against Fairview, we played against Northwestern, we played against Seneca and Northeast. So I mean we're familiar with them. I mean we know a little bit about them. So it's not like we're going in completely blind, and we'll scout them before we play them as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good fit for us.
Rihanna, you've played other sports, right? You played soccer?
I played soccer my sophomore year.
Okay. Did you play any other sports?
I've played softball. This will be on my 4th
Okay,
year.
so this will be the first time that you're going to be playing in a conference then?
Yes.
Okay, what is that going to feel like? Having now, you're going to be playing for something a little bit more important.
I think it'll be, we're honored to finally be in a conference. I mean, I know my brother was never in a conference, and I'm sure he and all his classmates wanted to be in one. So I feel like we're pretty honored to be able to leave high school knowing that the rest of them will still be in a conference.
Do you get a little bit more excited when you're playing a team from the county?
Yeah, I think the rivalry is still there, so it'll be still something. We've never played any of these other. I mean, we've played some, but none like Villa Maria, so we don't really have any big competition with them.
Lexi, what about you? As
It's
far as
always-
playing in a conference?
It's different people because we're used to always playing the same people from the teams, so it's something new. So we can just, I don't know, it's nice playing different teams and knowing that we have a game set instead of game getting canceled and like not being able to make it up or something.
And then playing the county schools is probably exciting too, because you probably know some of the girls from the other
Yeah.
schools. What about you, Taya? As far as being able to play in a do you play another sport, Lexi?
Volleyball and softball.
So you've already went through that. So you've
Yeah.
already. How'd you guys do in volleyball?
We have a better record than last year, and we did pretty good towards like the beginning of the season. We ended good, but just not with the win.
Is that coached by Justin Sanford?
Yeah.
Taya, do you play another sport?
Oh yeah, volleyball and softball.
So you've been through it too before.
Yeah.
So what was that like, playing in a
Um,
conference?
It's kind of cool. Some of the schools out there are like extremely nice, and it's cool to go play in their gyms and everything, and to meet some new people. Like, what was it? Was it you and Peyton? That I don't know.
Me
like
and
some of the
Polly met these two girls, and they told us everything about their team that like we should go after, and they were honest about it. And we game. So
But yeah, it's just cool to kind of meet some new people and get
Uh-huh.
exposure to new schools and stuff. So.
And seeing new gymnasiums and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
some of them are like amazing. Like Gilmore, that's insane. That's crazy. Have you ever been there?
Gilmore Academy?
Yeah,
No.
their gym. They've got like a I don't know what's it called in the center. Like a, is
Oh,
just
like
a
the scoreboard in the center.
But like
Oh.
it's huge. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tony, switching gears for a minute. Now, you coached the football team. I helped coached Rocco Dobrin's football team, a fourth straight winning season. You were in charge of what part of the team?
This year I was in charge of the secondary and also wide receivers.
And how do you feel that they did?
I thought they really excelled. I mean, it was a very young, inexperienced group. I mean, you consider we lost, Alex Gerdes, Justin Myers, Isaiah Narangus the year before. So we had a lot of young kids that had to step up, and we had injuries too throughout the year. So I think we really developed a lot of depth, and I think that's going to be one of our strong points next year.
You know who surprised me a lot was Johnny Moneypenny, Victor Rockwell. I remember calling their names quite a bit.
Johnny he just has a motor. I mean, he's outstanding. He never stops, and it's the same thing in practice. You watch him, if he's on the scout team in practice, he's giving the same effort that he does on Friday nights. So with him, it's just ingrained. He works hard nonstop. Victor, I think he just developed confidence. He really hit the weight room, and I think he just getting bigger and stronger. It just gave him more confidence, and he played a huge role for us this year.
A lot of impressive things. Anything stand out for you from the football team this year? Any particular game or any situation?
I would say when we were at Fairview was pretty neat for me. I mean, we were talking to the kids there,
That was the conference clincher.
Yeah, I said last time I've been involved in a conference title was in '97 when I was playing. So I mean it was kind of neat to be a part of that. And especially to be in the first year being in that conference. Knowing that we're part of that history to me was definitely special.
Now, when you were playing in 1997 for the Harbor Mariners, you didn't clinch against Conneaut, did you?
No, it was
I would say it was a very successful season. I guess I have to say week 10 was disappointing to me. I went in there thinking that, we had a chance at this one. I didn't think we would win or lose. I didn't know, but I didn't see that coming.
No, we didn't either. And it was hard to take. It was frustrating. You got to give them credit. I think they just out executed us. I think Rocco and Coach Joslin had the right game plans, offensively and defensively. But it just comes down to executing. And I think Grand Valley's kids just did a much better job of executing that game plan.
Rocco, when we had him in here a couple weeks, he thought maybe he thought that winning the conference the week before kind of was a little bit of a letdown.
I can see that for sure, you know, and I think for high school kids especially, you know, when you get to the end of the year, I think naturally, you know, they start to get a little wore out and they start looking forward to, you know, the next season. So I think there's a little bit of both of that involved, but I think that's natural. I think you see it in most sports.
Were you surprised a little bit that Tyson was second team, not only in the county but in District 10 as well?
And there was some tough competition. You know, a little bit surprised, but I don't think. I mean,
Totally surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't totally surprised just because of who he was competing against, especially in District 10. Titusville's quarterback, you know, put up huge numbers all year long. Then you look just in our conference too, the same thing. So, or in our county. So, I can't say I was shocked. I mean, I felt bad for Tyson, but you know, still being second team, you know, with that many good players is quite an honor.
Mm-hmm. Let's close and we'll go back to basketball for a minute. So you talked a little bit about how good you can be rebounding, and you have some shooters. What about that infamous free throw line? What are we looking like over there? That's even in the Conneaut boys' great years that they've had. It always seemed to be a bugaboo for some
No, it
reason.
is, and we've tried to do different things in practice. You know, to try to make it more game.
But how do you practice something like free throw shooting?
Well, what we've been doing this year is we try to do a lot more of running involved with it, so they're tired when they're shooting. Because I think that's a lot of it is fatigue. You know, it's if you just come into a gym fresh and you shoot free throws, it's a lot easier to make them than after you've been, you know, playing 3-4 quarters of basketball. So we're trying to simulate that a little bit more. But I think the bottom line to it just comes down to above the shoulders and just, you know, confidence in your ability and going through the same routines and I think that's, you know, really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. I know we don't want to see missed free throws, but still, it's the turnovers that probably bother you more than missing the free throw, right?
Yeah, turnovers definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let us say good luck to Lexi Campbell.
Thanks.
And a good season. Can't wait to see you as early as maybe Wednesday night against Grand Valley. Good luck to you, Taya.
Thank you.
And Brianna, good luck to you in your senior year, and hope you girls have a good season. I think you will. And Tony, of course, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, Tony Pasadena and the girls here on Around the Town with Chuck.